live, on air, and online. This is WSAV Coastal Sunrise at 6.
You're taking a live look outside this morning at the Savannah River, where you can see the calm before the storm as our area braces for a wintry mix. It's Tuesday, January 28th. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kim Gusby.
And I'm Dave Cartoon. And the big story this morning, of course, the expected arrival of Winter Storm 2014 later today. And WSAV's on your side with special coverage. First, several area school changes have already been announced for today. Chatham and Tattnall County schools will both have early dismissals. Bullock and Screven County schools will be closed today. In Effingham County, schools will be closed to students, but a half day is scheduled for staff. And in Liberty County, schools are in session for the full day, but will be closed tomorrow. You can see more closings and cancellations scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And for a complete list of area schools and businesses and their closings, visit our website at WSAV.com. The link is posted at the top of the homepage.
Here on Coastal Sunrise and throughout the day, WSAV will be continuing our special coverage for you. Up-to-the-minute information is always available online on our website, WSAV.com. Head to our Facebook page at facebook.com/WSAV3 and like us for continual updates. And on Twitter, you can find us at WSAV. Join the conversation. Send your updates and photos using the hashtag WSAVStorm. Coming up on 3 minutes after 6 o'clock on this Tuesday morning, and more on 2014 storm. Lee, good morning to you.
And a good morning to you, Kim. Let me point out, first of all, if you are driving early this morning, we don't have any icing problems at all. This storm is not really going to get going until midday. Matter of fact, National Weather Service, these advisories that have been issued by them, the ice storm warning and the winter storm warning, begin at noon today, continue through the afternoon, tonight, and into tomorrow. And the greatest threat here, where you see this purple shade, it is the icing, maybe up to ½ of an inch of ice, and that is going to make traveling very dangerous later today and this evening. And as we kind of dump snow on that, we think some snow overnight. It's going to be a real mess tomorrow morning. And again, kind of in these other shaded areas, these pink shades, a little bit more threat for some snow, particularly in the northern and western counties tonight. So again, this morning, it's not a big problem. Get out and get your activities done this morning, because watch what happens as the cold air drains into the area this afternoon. It allows that freezing rain and sleet to develop, and I think it gets all the way into the Savannah area for the late afternoon, early evening commute. This is going to be a messy time. Let's say 3, 4, 5 o'clock in Savannah, and as we go through the evening, it's going to get even worse. So overall, we are looking for a big mess with a lot of ice, and of course, you know what ice does. It's very difficult if you can travel at all, and also you have the risk for these power outages, because trees and power lines can go down. So again, this is a significant event, we think, that will be unfolding across the area. Seeing the cold air working into the northwest, and again, it's going to get a lot colder. We're going to drop all the areas into the 30s today. Right now, showers are offshore. As you're heading out the door, skies are generally mostly cloudy. Overall, traffic this morning, again, no icing. Not going to be any concerns with that. Highways are wet over some areas. And again, the flows look very good. Locally coming into Savannah, generally good flows with a few medium spots. Overall, we'll detail the extended range forecast, how much snow and ice you'll be seeing, and also the 7-day forecast in a bit.
All right, thanks a lot, Lee. And now we're taking a live look from our Savannah cam. This is Highway 21 at the intersection of Crossgate Road. As you can see, things pretty quiet this morning, but rain has started to fall already, and this afternoon we want to advise you to be careful. Stay off the roads if you can tonight and tomorrow. It's calm out there on the roads at the moment, as Lee mentioned. That's expected to change as the day goes on.
And if we do get ice on the roads, emergency officials urge you to stay off them tonight and tomorrow if you can. The city of Savannah says they don't have snow plows or fleets of salt trucks, which could help melt the ice. But what they do have are mounds of sand for traction, which they'll be spreading on the roads. And if that's not enough, the Georgia Department of Transportation is ready with hundreds of tons of salt and gravel, as well as a dozen snow plows to come in to assist the area.
The smart thing is everybody stay at home. Those of us who are from the north know there's really no safe way to drive on ice. It's a whole different thing than snow. It's just very, very difficult. So the smart thing is to be at home.
And there will also be extra troopers out on the highways looking for stranded drivers. If you find yourself in need of assistance out there, dial *GSP. Under the threat of winter weather, Savannah Hilton Head International Airport urges travelers to keep a close eye on flight updates. You can view your flight status by logging onto the airport's website, which you can find on our website, WSAV.com. Click on the links we've mentioned section. Well, the Chatham Emergency Management Agency, or CEMA, will activate at 8 a.m. and emergency managers have already briefed the community on how they should prepare.
If you haven't already made preparations with things like extra batteries, now's the time to do it. News 3's Sheila Parker joins us now live from CEMA headquarters with how they're preparing. Good morning, Sheila.
Well, good morning, Kim. There's not a lot going on right now, but a little bit later this morning, CEMA is going to activate their Emergency Operations Center. Now, they are going to do it here downtown in the building behind me. That's a little different than we've seen when they are preparing for the potential landfall of a hurricane. Of course, they have an area out at the Chatham County Annex that they have used. That's a much bigger space where they can bring in all the major players from the first responders. But right now, they're saying that they want those first responders to stay with their agencies. They will have several people here at the Chatham Emergency Management Agency monitoring this incoming storm and communicating and acting as a conduit for information between those agencies. Now, earlier this morning, it was drizzling. It did so overnight. You can see that there is some rain, some puddles here on the road. Of course, there's concern as the temperatures drop that could turn to black ice. CEMA actually held a press conference yesterday that we have some video of, that during which they warned everyone to please get their supplies early because, of course, afternoon today, conditions are supposed to start deteriorating. Reporting live from downtown Savannah, Sheila Parker, WSAV News 3.
7 minutes after 6 o'clock right now, and in Jasper County this morning, crews are also gearing up to minimize the impact of ice there. The Department of Transportation has 8 trucks on standby with 50 tons of salt to use on the streets at the first sign of ice. And Palmetto Electric crews will be on call around the clock in case power goes down. And
they will also be adopting a wait-and-see approach in Beaufort County this morning. They run emergency operations out of the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office. They're going to come up at noon, and we'll be watching for their plan as well. It is 6:07 now.
Stay with us. We'll be back with more of Coastal Sunrise. Our coverage of Winter Storm 2014 continues.
You're watching WSAV News 3 on your side, Coastal Sunrise at 6, with Kim Gusby, Dave Cartoonan, and meteorologist Lee Haywood. WSAV, honored with the Edward R. Murrow Award for Best Newscast.
6:11 now, and we're preparing for Winter Storm 2014 this morning, and WSAV's on your side with special continuing coverage.
First, several area school schedules changes have been announced for today. And Chatham and Tappanell County schools will both be dismissed early. Bullock and Screven County schools will be closed today. In Effingham County, schools will be closed to students. However, a half-day is scheduled for staff. Also, Liberty County schools in session today. They will be closed tomorrow. You can check the cancellations scrolling across the bottom of your screen this morning for the complete list of area schools and business closings. Just visit our website, WSAV.com. The link is listed at the top of the homepage.
And as we prepare for the winter storm, the homeless community is of special concern. No emergency shelters are expected to be set up at this time, but Carlos Baker of the Savannah Authority for the Homeless says there are standard operating procedures in place for shelters to open up additional beds during inclement weather.
For the most part, everything is pretty much in place, and you know, we just want to get the word out that, you know, come in, seek shelter, and, you know, seek refuge to get out of the elements. Because if it does snow, you know, that will be an extra barrier.
Well, Baker says 3 area shelters will open extra beds tonight. The Inner City Night Shelter on Arnold Street, the Old Savannah City Mission on Bull Street, and the Grace House Union Mission on Fahm Street.
And this is also the last week you can help our area seniors stay warm this winter. The Blanket Drive for Senior Citizens, Inc. ends this Friday. You can donate new blankets at several Starbucks locations around Savannah. For a complete list, just head to our website, WSAV.com, and search blanket. 13 minutes after 6 o'clock, it is Tuesday morning. Lee, we are preparing for Winter Storm 2014. What do folks need to know right now?
Well, right now they need to know that overall the early morning commute's looking just fine. It is the afternoon that we're going to be concerned for the development of icing from the northern and western counties, working into what I think will be around the Savannah metro area as we head in towards the late afternoon and early evening commute. And tonight it kind of goes downhill even worse because we're going to see more icing and then we develop some snow. I've always said it takes a special set of ingredients to get a winter storm for the Savannah area. It takes a polar front dipping all the way south through the region. In this particular case, we had an Arctic front drive through. The subtropical jet stream with all the moisture has to be active, and we need some sort of Gulf low pressure. And we have all these ingredients together where, as we're dropping the temperatures, we're bringing the moisture across the region. Unfortunately, in this case, we're going to get some icing before we get what we think will be a little bit of snow. Here's a look at what we can expect for today. Now, as you're heading out the door, temperatures are going to vary quite a bit, but we're going to average around 45 degrees at 7 o'clock. There will be some widely scattered rain showers at this hour. And as we head through the noon hour, more precipitation coming in from the southwest. Begins to develop in the far northwest counties, and that mixture of precipitation works its way to the south and east of the afternoon. Mid-afternoon getting into Effingham County, and by the late afternoon, early evening area, it's all the way into Savannah and heading in towards the islands. Let's take a look at what's happening again through the morning hours. Again, you can see all of this indicates some liquid precipitation. Now, as we head through the later part of the day, that icing begins to work its way slowly to the east. So again, we're going to be concerned about that icing condition developing this afternoon in areas like Statesboro and Claxon and Hampton and Vidalia, areas to the north and west. And this is where, once that icing begins, you'll want to stay off the roads, folks. And the potential will be for not only the roads to become very treacherous and hazardous, but also potential for some downed trees and power lines as we get some of that ice on them. So as we head through the overnight hours, temperatures will certainly be dipping out there. And then heading into, as we work our way through Wednesday, overnight, we'll see temperatures drop into the 20s and highs working into the 30s. So again, it's going to be cold weather for the next couple of days. Certainly going to be dealing with those chilly temperatures out there. As far as how much ice may fall, listen, not all that much on the immediate coast, maybe a tenth to a quarter. But the big concerns, I think, are as you head a little further inland. These are the communities we're most concerned about in the pink: Baxley and Hinesville, Statesboro, Pooler, going up into Springfield, low country of South Carolina along 95, potentially a quarter to a half of an inch of ice. This begins late this afternoon through the evening hours. And take a look at this, my friends. Maybe as we head through the nighttime hours, enough cold gets in here where we develop a little light snow, and that is going to be inland of the immediate coast. How much snow will fall? I'm sure you want to know this. Right now, current thinking is little, if any, accumulation along the immediate coast. Savannah, maybe a dusting to 1 inch, and as you go further north and west, 1 to 2 inches, not out of the question for some localized spots to get a little bit more. But again, just a little bit of snow may fall later tonight and tomorrow morning. Right now, as we scan the skies, precipitation-free weather over the inland communities, just a few light rain showers from time to time closer to the coast. Let's detail the Storm Team 3 forecast because pretty much we have falling temperatures today. Light rain this morning, turning to a mix this afternoon. Colder air working in, cloudy skies, winds out of the north. For tonight, we're down to 29. A mixture of precipitation potentially changing over to light snow as the low drops to 29. Now, light snow showers tomorrow morning ending, and then we have 36 for the high. Cloudy skies, still unseasonably cold when you think about the normal high should be about 63 this time of year. We're up to 45, mostly sunny, nice weather Thursday, in the mid-50s Friday. Then we get all the way to the mid-60s Saturday, near 70 degrees. By the time we get into Sunday, as more showers work in along with the next front. But again, the critical time is this afternoon and this evening into tonight when we have this risk for the ice. So we're going to continue to monitor the latest, but right now things look okay, but it's just this afternoon.
And you say the average temperature for this day in history is 63 degrees. What about the average snowfall here in Savannah for this day? Can we just reiterate that for a second?
Yeah, I know.
All right. Thanks a lot, Lee. 17 minutes after 6 o'clock right now. Coastal Sunrise special coverage of Winter Storm 2014 continues this morning. But first, we have some new developments this morning concerning ongoing turmoil throughout the Savannah-Chatham Metro Police Department.
Now, another officer is about to be off the force. News 3 has learned that Captain Cedric Phillips has turned in his resignation. Phillips has been on administrative leave since last year when he was singled out in a series of accusations by then Detective Trina Mays involving her alleged affair with then Chief Willie Lovett. Captain Phillips' resignation has not been accepted yet, Interim Chief Juliet Tolbert is out of town and has not yet seen that resignation. In Washington, President Obama will address his plans for 2014 during his annual State of the Union speech. But disastrous healthcare.gov rollout and another year of gridlock in Congress, the president's approval rating has taken a hit. A new ABC News Washington Post poll says 55% of people surveyed disapprove of the president's handling of the economy.
18 minutes after 6 o'clock right now. Stay with us. Lee has your Storm Team 3 weather on the 3's bus-stop forecast at 6:24 this morning.
And stay with Coastal Sunrise throughout the morning for continuing coverage of Winter Storm 2014. Head to our website, WSAV.com, for a complete list of the schools and businesses that are closed throughout the Coastal Empire and Low Country. This is Coastal Sunrise special coverage of Winter Storm 2014 on WSAV News 3.
Now, Sunrise Sports, presented by St. Joseph's Candler Hospital.
Good morning. I'm Sports Director Ken Slatz. The anticipated wintry weather to the Coastal Empire, the Low Country, and beyond caused quite an athletic stir. Tonight's scheduled busy night of high school hoops has pretty much come to a standstill. All games in Savannah, Chatham canceled. Same with Effingham County and Liberty County, Beaufort and Jasper counties. Pretty much the entire region's athletic events canceled for tonight. No problems whatsoever last night in our area. Doubleheader at Savannah State against MEAC Power Norfolk State first half. Kyrie White from the outside. He scores 9 points. Tigers down just 2 at halftime. What a halftime it was, too. The baseball team honored, getting their MEAC rings for winning the MEAC championship. First time they've done that. What a great halftime show it was. But now back to the action. Giles Smith scores 8 points. There's the most dramatic 2. Slam dunk. Then Joshua Montgomery to the hoop. The lead was up to 9 points. Montgomery scores 13. Here's where it got to 9. Kia Richards hits the jumper. Folks, but that was kind of it. Norfolk goes on a 17-2 run. Malcolm Hawkins here with 16 points. And Norfolk wins it 56-49, your final score. Now, the Tigers won't play at home again until mid-February. They'll play 3 on the road before coming back to Tiger Arena for North Carolina A&T on Saturday the 15th and North Carolina Central then on the 17th. Lady Tigers suiting up before the men's game tonight. Bria Dorsey down low. Here's Dorsey, little pump fake. Give it to Ezene Kalu. Kalu with a left hand off the glass. And then Ezene Kalu all by herself. She was 7 of 12 shooting, giving Savannah State an early lead. Bria Dorsey, nice dish down low. Charmaine Green, the Beach High School grad, in the books with a deuce. But the night belonged to Kalu. She scores 24 points, and you know everything's going right when Dorsey can beat the shot clock like this. She launches it. You'll hear the buzzer. She scores 10 points. Lady Tigers go to 5-2 in the MEAC. They win at 79-47. The Blitz basketball series takes this week off, but we'll be back with live full game action next Thursday. Against the 6th of February, we'll air the Armstrong men's game against Flagler. That will tip off at 8 p.m. on MyLC. Chad Jackson will join me to call the action. Now then on Friday night at 8 p.m., we'll air the women's Armstrong game against Flagler. The WSAV Blitz basketball series, one reason why WSAV is your home for local sports. And that is your Sunrise Sports. Have a great day.
All right, thank you very much, Ken. Time for a look at the Storm Team 3 bus stop weather forecast. As you know, some schools not attending class today because of the incoming icy weather that will be developing, particularly this afternoon. Right now in Savannah, not all that bad. We're at 53 degrees, but you can see off to the north and west, this is where the colder air is. We're a couple of degrees shy of freezing in Macon, 26 degrees in Atlanta, and this cold air is pushing its way to the south and east. So, you know, it's kind of tricky to kind of figure out exactly when a lot of areas will change over. I think most of the morning is going to be liquid precipitation. It is this afternoon where we begin to see that freezing line start to work its way southeast. And so if you're in the northern and western counties, this is where you're going to begin to see the problems. We do have ice storm warnings in effect for the Savannah Metro, Hinesville, all the way up into Statesboro this morning, into Ridgeland and Hardyville, Hilton Head Island, Beaufort. All these areas under ice storm warning. And then we also have winter storm warnings for the rest of the coastal empire and the low country. Take a look at the weather maps. Again, some light precipitation falling this morning. The bulk of the heavier downpour activity is going to stay to the southwest. Then watch what happens as we start to really build in the precipitation this afternoon. The cold air comes in. This means that in the northern and western counties, we're going to start to get that icing, that sleet, that freezing rain. This is going to be a problem, and it could work into the Savannah area as early as the late afternoon and early morning commute. Speaking of the commute, let's take a look at what's happening out out there right now. Overall, flows look pretty good. Of course, there is no icing out there this morning. There are some wet highways and things look good. We're seeing normal flows on the interstates this morning, also normal flows on 516, also 80 coming into Savannah, as well as 17 south, and your interstates. All looking very good on this Tuesday morning. So I suppose either the flows are light or folks are really minding the speed this morning.
Bottom line to folks, though, as they travel today, get your errands done early because this afternoon is going to be a big mess.
That is such good advice. I mean, if you can get those things done this morning and avoid, let's say, the afternoon, early evening commute, because a lot of people, you know, are going to try to go to work today, and then when they get kind of on those highways late this afternoon, it is going to be a mess in some cases.
All right. Thanks a lot, Lee. Well, it is 6:27 right now, and WSAV will be right back with our continuing special coverage of Winter Storm 2014.
Let's take another live look outside this morning from our Savannah cams. Here's the Savannah River. We're awaiting sunrise on Coastal Sunrise. May not see the sun with all those clouds and rain out there, but it is 6:27, and we'll be right back.